The time is just gone 10 minutes to 10 a.m. now. Yesterday, the 27th of October, marked the 50th anniversary of the death of Marhoom Ahmed Timol, rahimahumullah, and that was in 1971 when he was thrown out of a window on the 10th floor of John Foster Square Police Station, which is now called the Johannesburg Central Police Station. Now, yesterday there was an event that had taken place at the Roodepoort Muslim Cemetery, which is west of Johannesburg. We joined on the line this morning by the younger brother of Marhoom Ahmed Timol, Mohammad Timol. Brother Mohammed, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam to you and all your listeners.
Yes, Jazakallah for your time with us this morning. Now, obviously, yesterday, very relevant. We're talking about 50 years later and the death, the killing of your late brother, Ahmed Timol, rahimahumullah.
Yes. 50 years is a very long time, but we are glad that Ahmed is still being remembered by the communities in South Africa and by South Africa itself, as well as recognized by the democratic government, the role Ahmed played in the struggle against apartheid and the sacrifice he made for his life. We acknowledge that the government has recognized that.
Yes. Now, I've seen some of the responses, obviously, to the event that had taken place, and one that came through from the former minister, Yusuf Bahad, when he spoke about Ahmed Timol being one of his closest friends and a comrade. And he says he was the last one to actually see him in London before he left for South Africa.
That's very true. Yusuf and Ahmed Bahad were close friends before Yusuf Bahad went to exile in 1964. Ahmed continued teaching at the Roodepoort Indian High School, and in 1966, he went for Hajj. At the tender age of 25, he went for Hajj. And after completion of Hajj, he moved to England, where he taught at the immigrant school. It's true that he stayed with Yusuf Bahad at his flat in London, and they were very close. Ahmed has received training with they went to the former Soviet Union with Thabo Mbeki, and on his return, it was decided that Ahmed must return to South Africa to build the underground against the apartheid regime. Yusuf Bahad was the last one to have discussions with him and gave him all the support when Ahmed left London on the 20th of February 1970.
Yes. Now, I think what is also encouraging to note, and as you said, that, the government still recognizing the contribution that Marhoom Ahmed had made. And when we see people like the Minister of Justice and Correctional Services, Ronald Lamola, being present, we see the Gauteng Premier, David Makura, we see people like Yasmin Suka, who is the Human Rights Commission Chair, all, being present and paying tribute to him. And that obviously is very, very encouraging, and I suppose even very heartening for you as the Timol family.
Definitely, it's very heartening. The fact that his role has been recognized, not only now, has been recognized throughout this period from the time of his death in 1971, October 27. In fact, the funeral took place on Friday the 29th. The body of Ahmed was only released by the Hillbrow mortuary on Friday before Jummah, on 29th of October 1971. The washing of the body, the ghusl, was done after Jummah Namaz at the Newtown Mosque, and then taken to our home, our flat in Roodepoort. It was placed on the plate, the usual traditional thing. His face was open for the people who had come to the funeral to see the assault that they had received from the security police. The body was then taken down on the pavement, and there were hundreds of people who walked past his coffin. And subsequently, there were thousands that went with the janazah vehicle to the cemetery. I was detained at that time in Durban, so I cannot give you the graphic details of what happened at the cemetery. But what I was told, that after Ahmed was buried, by the way, my father had read the Janazah Namaz. And after Ahmed was buried, that there was a storm. The rain came down that was never seen before in Dunipur. And that was a blessing from Allah. The fact that he was a martyr, he passed away on the 7th of Ramadan during the holy month.
Mm. Well, certainly. In fact, I think, that is just so heartwarming to get the details. And I think these are details that, many of us don't know about. And as you mentioned, his body was released on a Jummah, the Ghusl as well, buried on a Friday as well, the month of Ramadan. And one cannot wish for better than that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala truly had accepted him for all the sacrifices that he had made. Now, I know that, we've been talking with Imtiaz, your nephew, for a long time regarding, the latest developments. And we've spoken about Rodriguez as well. We know that he had basically passed on. And it's been difficult for the family to get closure. But I just want to talk a bit about the book, which is entitled Nothing and Nothing But the Truth, which is a portrait of Ahmed Timol that is about to be released as well.
No, it's a booklet. It's a booklet that was produced by Brother Ismail Wadi. It's basically to give people an idea who Ahmed Timol was, a background to the Timol family and his contribution in the struggle. It's actually Ismail Wadi deliberately wrote that book so that the younger generation can know who Ahmed Timol was. This is for posterity, this book. And there are photos in the book as well of Ahmed when he was young, when he was at the Teachers Training College, and he was a brilliant cricketer. There are pictures of his cricket team. There were pictures also, the photos also of the funeral that was on the 29th of October, 1971. And a lovely photo of my father and my mother reading the Quran after we got the news that Ahmed had passed away. So that book was deliberately produced with the photos so the younger generations in our community, in our schools, must know and can know the contribution not only what Ahmed made to bring about the democracy that we are enjoying today, but all those people, all those freedom fighters that were involved in the struggle for a democratic South Africa. One thing we must also remember, and this is what the Born Free doesn't know, that apartheid was a very brutal system. It reduced your dignity, it was inhumane, and we never had the opportunities that we have today. And I very much doubt that during apartheid, the Islamic radios that we have today would be allowed. We had very few mosques during the apartheid days, but today we have mosques mushrooming in every little place in South Africa. We are very fortunate. And this is a contribution that has been made not only by Marhoom Ahmed, but by Ahmed Kasrada, by Suleiman Saluji, by many others who gave their lives for the freedom of all our people, not only for the Indian people in South Africa, for all our people. And our whole idea, the forerunners of the struggle preach non-racialism. They said that our future lies in South Africa as a non-racial country. And I recall it was mentioned at one of our meetings that Dr. Dadu was a renowned leader of the Transvaal Indian Congress. He said in the 1940s that please allow our daughters to get educated, because it is only through education that we can get our freedom. So we are very fortunate that we have leaders like Dr. Dadu, Maulvi Kachalya, and many, many others.
Yes, Alhamdulillah, and we make dua for all of them and also for brother Ahmed Timol, Marhoom Ahmed Timol. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept, Allah reward his efforts, Allah fill his qabr was nur inshallah, and grant him the highest stages in Jannah as well. And also to you as a family, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for all your sacrifices that you have made, and also for the last 50 years. I can imagine the patience, the sabr that has been obviously experienced by the family in the last 50 years and not even getting closure at times as well. And that obviously has been very, very difficult. But Brother Mohammed, Jazakallah so much for coming on, for sharing what you have with us this morning. And really, it's been very, very inspiring talking to you this morning. Jazakallah for that, for your time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam and Jazakallah, brother.
That was Mohammad Timol, the younger brother of the late Marhoom Ahmed Timol, with us this morning. Yesterday marking 50 years since the killing and the murder of Marhoom Ahmed Timol in 1971 on the 27th of October, when he was thrown out of the window on the 10th floor of the John Foster Square police station. And with that, my time is up. The time is just gone. 10 a.m. It's been wonderful. It's been lovely being in your company once again. Inshallah, I'll be back with you once again tomorrow. Jummah Inspirations. So from myself and the rest of the team, at Salam Media, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries.